Today I'll be reading Hakim and Grenita. Once, long ago, in the Black Forest, there lived a poor woodcutter and his family. His first wife had died and he remarried to have a mother for his two children, Hakim and Grenita. Times were hard for the little family, and often there was not enough food to eat. The new stepmother turned out to be a grouch. When their father was out cutting wood, she was unkind to Hakim and Grenita, and she was so greedy, she often ate their share of food. Hakim and Grenita were too afraid of their stepmother to tell their father. One day, the stepmother decided that if she could get rid of the children, there would be more to eat. So she sent them into the Black Forest to hunt for berries, hoping they would get lost. "Go to the berry patch beyond the 7 lakes," she ordered, "and do not return home until your pails are full." Now, Hakim knew this was a long walk indeed into the forest. So, fearing they might get lost, he left a trail of white pebbles. When they finally reached the berry patch, it was late in the day. They hastily filled their pails and naturally snitched a few to munch on. Then they followed the trail of pebbles and barely returned home before dark. Their father was happy to see them return safely, but the stepmother's grouchy look could have soured the milk they poured on their berries. The next day, the stepmother sent them even farther into the forest. "There grows a cherry tree at the edge of Sorry Swamp. Do not return until your pails are full, else I shall box your ears." Now this time, Hakim had filled his pockets with breadcrumbs. He dropped a trail of them as they made the long walk. At last they found the cherry tree and filled their pails. But when they looked for the trail of crumbs, they saw that the birds had eaten every one. This time they were lost for sure. Darkness came quickly and Grenita began to cry. Hakim tried to comfort his sister. He gathered leaves and ferns to make a soft place to rest. They ate the cherries and drank from a little spring. Then they said their prayers and tried to go to sleep. But things wiggled and hissed in the dark. An owl hooted, a wolf howled. Hakim and Grenita held on to each other for comfort. And then the fairy of sleep appeared in a gentle light and sang a soft lullaby. Hakim and Grenita slept and dreamed they were home safe with their father. The fairy faded into the night and the forest grew quiet. But when the dawn came, poor Hakim and Grenita were still lost and cold and hungry. They ate the last few cherries, then washed at the spring. For hours they searched for the path leading home, but what they found instead was a most elegant little house made of gingerbread and icing. It looked delicious. Hakim broke off a bit of the gingerbread and gave some to Grenita. It tasted wonderful, and scattered all about there were big gumdrops and chocolates and cookies and candy canes. But their happy munching was interrupted by a squeaky voice from inside that sang, "Nibble, nibble, little mouse, who is nibbling on my house?" Then an old wrinkly green witch came out and grabbed them by the arms. "Well, my dearie dears, just in time for lunch," she cackled. And from the way she smacked her lips, Hakim thought maybe they would be the lunch. He was right. The witch shoved him into a wooden cage and bolted the door. She danced around cackling. "Now make yourself comfy, my plump little dove," she said. "Your sister and I will make a fire in the oven to toast you golden brown." Grenita was forced to fill the oven with twigs and branches until it made a roaring fire. She sobbed and sniffled as the witch slammed the door to wait for the oven to heat up. After a while, the witch said, "Open the oven door to see if it is hot enough to cook him toasty brown." But Grenita pretended the oven door was stuck and said, "Help me, Miss Witch, for it is too hard to pull open." "Puny girl," snorted the witch as she yanked the door open. Then she peeked inside to check the heat. "Just about right," she chuckled. "Good," said Grenita. Then she shoved the witch into the oven and slammed the door. Then the witch's magic spells were broken. The gingerbread house and all the goodies disappeared. The big black oven hiccuped twice and then collapsed in a cloud of dust. And Hakim and Grenita were left once again in the quiet forest. Just then their father, who had been searching for them, came out of the woods. What a happy reunion as they told him their tale of the magic gingerbread house. And he too had good news. He was to work as royal woodsman for the king, and they should never want for anything again. And best of all, he had sent the unkind stepmother away, and life was very fine indeed all the rest of their days.